Okay, this is next video lesson for 8th grade. Okay, we're going to continue with parallel lines and transversal lines. Okay, now when we started talking about this topic, okay, we just started talking about definitions, right? So we have corresponding angles, supplementary angles, vertical angles, okay? And we know that having the measurement of one angle is going to help us find the measurements for the other angles. Okay, so we're going to work on some exercises. This one is number 1 on page 60. Okay, so make sure to check it out. Okay, we have it on our books. Okay, so when we start talking about transversal lines, okay, we know that these two are parallel. Okay, the red lines are parallel because they have the same direction, same inclination, and they never touch. Okay, and the green line is a transversal line. Okay, that means that it intercepts the parallel lines at one point. Okay, it intercepts both of them. Okay, and when we intercept this transversal line, we have certain angles that are formed. Okay, so we have angle 1, angle 2, angle 3, angle 4, angle 5, angle 6, angle 7, and angle 8. Okay, so that means that by having one of these measurements, we can solve for the other angles. Okay, so on exercise 1, okay, they tell us, given that angle 1 is 56, okay, let's put it here. They're telling us that angle 1 is equal to 56 degrees. Okay, so we're talking about this angle, number 1. Okay, so they're telling us, find the measurements of all of the angles. Okay, now, if we study the definitions that we already talked about, okay, that means that we can find the measurements of the other angles using only angle number 1. Okay, so let's start with angle number 2. Okay, so let's put it here. We're going to find angle number 2, number 3, 4, number 5, number 6, number 7, and angle number 8. Okay? And we're going to find all of these measurements just by using angle number 1. Okay? So, if we have angle number 1 here, and it says 56, this one is 56, that means that we can easily find the measurement of angle number 2. Okay? And this is the definition of a supplementary angle. Okay? Because remember, supplementary angles mean that the addition of the two angles is going to give us a total of 180. Okay, so if we take this information that we already know, and we know that angle 1 plus angle 2 is going to be 180, okay, that means that we can solve, okay, because angle 1 is 56, okay, angle 2, we don't know it, and the addition of both of these angles is 180. Okay, so that means that we can solve. Okay, so that means that angle 2 is equal to 180 minus 56. Okay, so the measurement of angle 2 is 180 minus 56. Let's check it on our calculator so that we don't make any mistakes. 180 minus 56, 124. Okay, so that means that the angle of number 2, the measurement of angle number 2 is 124 degrees. Okay, and we already have measurement of angle number 2. Okay, now, how do we get to angle number 3? Okay, remember, we have another definition that's very important called vertical angles. Okay, vertical angles means that angles that share the same vertex, okay, means that they have the same measurement. Okay, so using the information that we already know, vertical angles, okay, angle number 1 is equal to angle number 3. Okay, so just by the definition, we already know that angle number 3 is vertical angle with angle number 1, and they have the same measurement. Now, if angle number 3 has the same measurement of angle number 1, that means that angle number 4 is a supplementary angle of angle number 3. Okay, so how do we find the measurement of angle number 4? That means that we take the addition of both and they equal to 80. Okay, another definition for angle number 4 is vertical angles. Okay, so if this angle number 2 is 124, that means that number 4 is also 124 degrees. Okay, so if you notice, just by definitions, we already have the measurements of 3 angles. Okay, because angle number 1 was a given. That's why it's with a different color. Okay, now, how do we get angle number 5? Okay, definition. Okay, by definition, okay, that means that we can also get the measurement of angle number 2. If you notice, it has the same measurement of angle number 2. Okay, they are cut in the same inclination, okay, on the same transversal line, different parallel lines, right? Because one is the line on the top, the other one is the line on the bottom. Okay, but by definition, angle number 2 is complementary to angle number 5. Okay, so what do we have here? Okay, they are corresponding angles. Okay, so the definition that we're looking for is corresponding, number 2 and number 5. So if number 2 is 124, that means that angle number 5 is 124. Okay, now if we know that this angle is 124, angle 6 is going to be what? By definition, it's a supplementary angle. Okay, so we will need to do the same operation we already have here, but looking for, okay, the other angle. Let's do it as an equation just so that it's more clear. Okay, so if we have the angle number 5 and angle number 6, okay, they both have to be 180. And we know that 124 degrees is the measurement of angle number 5. So we bring it to angle number 6. And we do the same operation we did on the top, but this time we're solving for the other angle. Okay, so we have angle number 6 is 180 minus 124. And we have that angle 6 is equal to 56. Okay? Because we're doing the same operation, but solving for the other. Now, we have the measurement of angle number 5, and we have the measurement of angle number 6. Using the same definition we already know, okay, the measurement of angle 8 is what? The same as angle number 5, because they are vertical angles. Okay? So we already have angle 8, which is 124 degrees. Okay? Because they are vertical angles with number 5. Okay? And since we already have angle number 6, okay, they are vertical angles with angle number 7, and they are also exterior, okay, alternate angles with angle number 1. Okay, so that means that they have the same measurement. Okay, so technically we can use all of the definitions to find the measurements of the other angles. Okay, so if you notice, they're the same. The only thing is that we need to apply the definitions we already know. So if you notice, angle number 1 is 56. Okay, and it's an alternate in exterior angle to number 7. So that means that they are equal. Okay, 56, 56. Okay, now let's answer the other questions that we have for exercise number 1. Sorry. It says, find the measurements of the other angles. We have them. The next one, letter B, says supplementary angles. Okay? So, if they asked us for supplementary angles, which are the supplementaries? Okay? Remember, supplementary means the ones that are added and they get to a measurement of 180 degrees. Okay, so angle 1, angle 2, supplementary. Also, angle 3, angle 4, because the measurement of both is going to give us 180 degrees. Okay, so angle 3, angle 4. Also, angle number 5 and angle number 6, if we add them, we have 180. Okay, so angle number 5 and angle number 6 are supplementary. And we also have 7 and 8, because the addition of both is going to give us 180. Okay, so these are the supplementary angles of exercise number 1. Okay, they also asked us for corresponding angles. Okay, so let's put it here. Okay, so corresponding angles, okay, are the ones that have, okay, the same measurement because of the transversal line. So if you notice, this measurement is done here as well. Why? Because when the transversal line comes here, this angle is going to be similar and congruent with this one. Okay, number 5 is also going to be with number 2. Number 3 is going to be with number 7. And number 4 is going to be with number 8, because it's the same angle formed on both of the parallel lines, okay, cut by the transversal line, which is the green line. Okay, so corresponding angles, okay, are number 1 and 6, and angle 6, okay, this one, 4 and 8, angle 4, and angle 8. Okay, we also have 2 and 5, angle 2, and angle 5, and we also have 3 and 7. 3 and angle 7. Okay, so let's review. Why are these corresponding? Because they are formed exactly the same way when the transversal line cuts both of the parallel lines. Okay, so if you notice, angle 1 is corresponding to this one because this inclination is the same that happens here. And if we had another line and this transversal cuts it, we're going to have another angle that is corresponding to 1 and to angle number 6. Then, vertical angles. They're also asking for vertical angles. Okay, so from this diagram, which are vertical angles? Okay, remember, vertical angles, they share the same vertex. And remember that the vertex is the point where the two lines meet to form an angle. Okay, so if we put it into a diagram, this point is the vertex. And if we have other angles forming, okay, they meet on this vertical point. Okay? So vertical angles would be this one and this one. Okay? Because they share the same vertex. Okay? So, from these diagram, which are vertical angles? 1 and 3, 2 and 4, because they share this vertex, 7 and 6, they share this vertex, and 5 and 8, because they share that vertex. Okay, so angle 1, angle 3, vertical angles. 2 and 4, angle 2, angle 4. Okay, 5 and 8, angle 5, and angle 8. Okay, and angle 6 and angle 7. Okay, those are the vertical angles of this diagram. Okay, now I think we have another question. It says, name all the alternate interior angles. Okay, let's put it here. To put it here. Okay, so it says alternate interior angles. Okay, so let's put it here. Alternate alternate interior angles. Okay, so alternate interior angles in this diagram mean that they are interior. Remember, what do we call interior angles? Interior angles are the ones that are formed in the space between the two parallel lines. Okay, so all of the angles that are inside this space, okay, are interior angles. Okay, and alternate means that they are on the other side. Okay, so in this case, the only interior angles are 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, those are interior, but they are asking for alternate. So alternate means that they are on the other side. So that means that alternate would be 3 and 6 and 5 and 4. Okay, and since we are only talking about the space in between the parallel lines, that means that they are interior. Okay, so alternate interior angles would be 3 and 6. Okay, angles 3 and 6. And 4 and 5. Angle 4 and angle 5. Okay, because remember, interior means inside the parallel lines. Okay, and they also ask us for alternate exterior angles. Okay, so alternate exterior angles are exterior, so that means that they are the angles formed outside the space between the parallel lines. Okay, so alternate also means on the opposite side. So 2 is exterior, 1 is exterior, 7 is exterior, and 8 is exterior. And since they are in opposite sides, that means that 8 and 2 are alternate, and 1 and 7 are alternate. Okay? So alternate exterior angles are going to be 2 and angle 8 and 1 and 7. Okay? So let's review. This exercise, they only gave us one angle measurement. Okay? 56. By having this 56, that means that we can calculate the angle measurements for other angles, okay, using the rules. Corresponding angles, supplementary angles, alternate interior angles, alternate exterior angles, corresponding, vertical. All of these definitions, we saw them in the first video. Okay, you have them also on page 60 on your book, so make sure to check it out. Okay, so these rules are important. Okay, so you need to check them out. Okay, and from one angle, we calculated the others. Okay, and the other questions, supplementary. Remember, the supplementary are the ones that have the measurement equal to 180. Okay, we have corresponding, we have alternate interior, we had verticals, and we had alternate exterior angles. Okay, so make sure to review these definitions so that you can solve the other exercises. Okay, on the next video, we're going to work on more exercises of this kind. Okay, you can also find them on page 60, and I will be putting a link under this video for more exercises. So make sure to check it out. Okay, if you have any questions, please let me know.